Now, while this loss will obviously sting, the Tide's focus will remain on what lies ahead and how to possibly meet the Volunteers again in the future. Mark Ingram won the team's first ever Heisman in 2009. Derrick Henry rushed for 2,000 yards in his record-breaking 2015 Heisman season. And Najee Harris was pivotal for the team's 2020 national championship run, scoring 29 touchdowns. Out of 295 Division I baseball teams, only 25 of those have hit over 100 home runs this season, one of those being Alabama. To be competitive this weekend, part of creating their own opportunities is going to have to be taking advantage of that home run potential. The Rams softball team got to this point through strong leadership and great team chemistry. And with a state championship on the line, the team feels like they have something to prove, and they have a great community behind them. When you have a guy like Heisman Trophy winner Bryce Young and someone who very well could have been right there in New York with him and Will Anderson Jr., it's a chance that doesn't come around that often, and the Tide want to make sure that they take advantage of it.
Fell, throws it over for Golston. He's got it!
And cha-ching, the bank is open today, and talk about a dagger. Missouri's DeAndre Golston buried that one, stunning the Central Florida Knights and lifting the Tigers to 10-1. Good evening. I hope everyone is having as great a night as Mr. Golston. I'm Tyler White. Now for the rest of the scores around the state, Halloween style. West Alabama is going to be haunted by their 36-24 loss at the hands of West Florida. UAB was tricked with no treats, falling to Florida Atlantic 24-17. Austin Peay was left screaming after losing 40-16 at the hands of Jacksonville State. The Citadel will be seeing Sanford in their nightmares after losing 38-3. The South Alabama Jaguars had a monster day, defeating Arkansas State 31-3, and North Alabama was left seeing ghosts after a 64-29 drumming at the hands of Central Arkansas. And here we go in the top of the first. Bobby Pierce is center field. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's William Hameter with a spectacular diving catch, stealing that hit from Pierce. Garrett McMillan finally back in action today, and he gave the Tide a much-needed boost as he strikes out Justin Kirby to end the top of the second. Tua Tagovailoa trying to upset the Buffalo Bills 3rd and 22, fires this one deep, dissecting the Buffalo safeties and hitting Jalen Waddle perfectly in stride, setting up the Dolphins' go-ahead touchdown that would ultimately win the game versus the Bills 21-19. Crimson Tide women's basketball hosted Norfolk State today, and when I tell you it was not pretty for State, well, here, I'll just show you. Our girls put on a show for the fans today. Megan Abrams here, she's falling down. She kicks it to Brittany Davis, who finds Hannah Barber, and she's going to sink that triple. Here comes Loyal McQueen, hits that defender with a nasty crossover, kicks it to Davis, who knocks down another three for the Tide. And Davis had a huge night for the Tide. Here, Megan Abrams is going to find Davis in her spot, and she's going to sink another three with the defender's hand in her face. Tide take the win in this one. Get this, 92-30. During the Nick Saban era of Alabama football, the Tide haven't found themselves in this situation often, down 28-10 to the Tennessee Volunteers early in the second quarter. But if you thought the game was anywhere close to over at that point, well, you must have had your clown pants on.
Got to give our players a lot of credit for, fighting back and getting back in the game after getting behind 21-7 and, having an opportunity to win, at the end.
You heard it from Saban. The Tide fought their way back into this one, scoring 18 unanswered, tying the game on this Gibbs run before battling it out shot for shot with the Vols for the rest of the second half.
When it first started, it was challenging. We just had to get in a rhythm, and I feel like, further into the game, it went the further the game went on, the more we got in our groove with it.
But the Tide seemed to have secured their victory, up a touchdown late in the fourth when Hendon Hooker threw this interception, but the play would be called back by a controversial pass interference flag.
Can't really comment on it. It's hard to see when it's down in the corner. I thought the guy made a good swat on the ball, and we intercepted a tip ball. I think pass interference is one of the most controversial calls in college football.
Tennessee would score the tying touchdown on the ensuing play, and the game would end with a Volunteers field goal after the Tide missed a field goal chance of their own. It's a stinging loss, but the message was clear. It's time to look forward.
You have to control what you can control. Things happen. It's in the past. Things are what they are. You can't go back in time. So, we have to make sure we're moving in a positive direction, learning from it and correcting what we can and trying to go from it.
Now, while this loss will obviously sting, the Tide's focus will remain on what lies ahead and how to possibly meet the Volunteers again in the future. Local in Knoxville, I'm Tyler White, WVUA 23 Sports.